Hello, everyone. My name is Christina, and I'm from Serbia.
And my name is Bojana, and I'm from North Macedonia.
And this is a podcast called Selflovogy. And we are here to talk about mental health. And some subjects we are going to cover are mental health issues, younger generations, and where they can find support and resources and information about mental health in general. And we are going to cover two sides, Macedonian and from two angles, Macedonian and Serbian. So let's start with defining what mental health is.
Yeah, maybe first we can introduce ourselves very shortly. So my name is Bojana, like I said. I'm 20, I'm from Macedonia, and I'm a huge mental health activist, and I'm also like a mental health peer educator in like an organization in Macedonia. And who are you?
My name is Christina. I'm a student of French language and literature, and I'm very much interested in topics like mental health. And I've been dealing with a lot of like mental health subjects, and I've been in a lot of exchanges that have to do with mental health. And yeah, so we can...
Okay, great. Can you tell me what mental health is for you?
For me personally, mental health is everything that we do to help ourselves cope with life, and like everything is connected to our mental health, not just like problems that we have. Like mental health is a broader subject. Yeah. So I think everyone should be aware of the mental hygiene that we have to do every day in order to live a better life or quality life.
Yeah, great. So for me, I actually like agree with you completely. And a few like hours ago, I was talking with my friend about this, like how you take care of your physical health. Like for example, your teeth, like if it hurts, you go to a doctor, and you also like brush your teeth every day. And it's the same, like you need to take care of your mental health every day. So yeah.
And what do you do on a daily basis that kind of, do you have some rituals that you do to kind of help you be more productive or?
Yeah, okay. I didn't think we were going to go this deep at like such the beginning of the podcast, but basically like for me personally, if I don't do like a certain morning routine, like I know it can be skeptical, but I think my day is going to be ruined. But like you can sometimes like wake up depressed, and if you don't do like certain things, like it's like habits, you have to do them to like be happier, I guess. For example, I when I wake up, I like really like try hard to not look at my phone. And I have like turned on downtime, so I don't look at my phone in the morning, because I've realized that if I look at my phone in the morning, and like usually as you do on social media, you like see something that upsets you and your whole day is ruined. But also I like wake up and I actually listen to a podcast called Anything Goes. Yeah, we can promote that one as well. And I listen to like a podcast while I do like my skincare, and then I usually like drink coffee or tea. And I take my dog out for a walk, and then like I start my day.
So you take a little extra time for
Self-care,
yourself. Yeah.
Selflovogy.
That's amazing. I have actually tried putting my phone aside. I haven't succeeded yet because like it's a sort of a reflex when I wake up. It's just like, has anyone written to me something on Instagram or whatever? But I think that what you said is really important, meaning like discipline. You have to do it every day. You have to find what works for you and kind of stick to it. And we have, in Serbia, we have this concept called samo nežno prema sebi, which roughly translated, it's only gently with yourself, which is kind of a good thing, but it could be like a two-edged sword, because you can use it as an excuse when you don't feel like doing something. You could be, just only gently with myself. I think it is important to also be kind of your parent in a way. Sometimes when you're making mistakes and when you're doing things wrong, I think it's important to not be harsh on yourself, but like to keep yourself accountable for your actions and to kind of see your mistakes and try to do better, but not.
Yeah, you need to like distinct between like when you need to take care of yourself and when you need to discipline yourself.
Yeah. So what do you have something like that in Macedonia?
Like that phrase is actually popular in Macedonia too. Like I know this girl that has it tattooed on her like chest, but yeah, but yeah, I agree. Other phrases we have, I don't think we have any. No, sadly.
I know a lot of people who have it tattooed on themselves here too.
Yeah.
So it's a really good concept. And in Macedonia, how do young people take care of their mental health? Do you know how is perceived like mental issues or hygiene? How it's
It's not. So in Macedonia, I don't think we talk a lot about mental health, but I'm very happy that in the last like 2 years there has been a lot of organizations that have started talking about mental health. But I think like still it's a very taboo topic, like in most Balkans. Like what you asked me, like what do young people in Macedonia do for their mental health? Actually, I want to talk about this later, but I can say it now. So I'm very happy that in Macedonia, in the last like few years, we have developed a system of like free therapy for young people, and obviously that's helping a lot. There's like this app that's like very popular in Macedonia. It's called Razgovor или Conversation. It's like Conversation MK, and it's an app, and you can like talk with different therapists to your needs like anonymously, and you can set up either like video calls, texting, or like you can even set up an like in-person visit. But it's very cheap. I mean, like there are different sessions and different prices, but there are even some cool therapists that do like free sessions once in a while, and you can just like download the app and find like a therapist really quickly.
Oh, that's amazing. And are young people informed about those?
So I think like it depends on where you live, which is not so good. But in like a Skopje, I think you're more informed about these things because there are like a lot of local organizations that do this. But I think like in smaller cities where, in my opinion, it's like more needed, it's not as known.
And what about like social media? You can like commercialize it. You can promote it on social media as well, so it doesn't matter where where people live. If it's online now because of COVID,
I don't know. I'll like contact the app and tell them to promote it more. What about in Serbia? Like what it's like?
yeah, we have a lot of not specifically by government, like government organizations that deal with young people and mental health, but we have a lot of counseling organizations that are not that are NGO, I think, and I can tell you about like Ubuntu Center, which is an organization that is based. They have bases in Novi Sad and Belgrade, and a lot of therapists from different kind of schools of psychology work there, and you have like a talk with a person who's doing diagnostics, and they give you the best psychologist, best therapist,
best suitable to you.
Yeah. So that's really awesome, and it's affordable. It's not completely free. The first 12 sessions are about 1,000 dinars, which is like affordable even for young people and students. And after that, you kind of arrange price with your therapist if you want to continue doing the therapy. And we have a lot of organizations like Srce, which are doing online counseling. But I think that it's good for like the beginning as a first step, but I don't think that you could do much anonymously via chat and stuff. So I think it's better to look up the organization and kind of invest a little bit of money because they have to work
Yeah,
too.
but it's like cool if you're like in a crisis at the moment, like you can contact them.
Well, I think we have a lot of free ones as well, but like chats, and I don't think we have like the therapy that's completely free. I'm not sure.
Okay. Yeah, I actually wanted to share. I've heard of this. Like I think it's Serbian blog. It's called Beogradski Duh. Yeah, we like in Macedonia. It's really popular. Like everybody follows it.
Really?
Yeah.
I haven't. I don't know about that blog. I haven't seen it.
It's like quotes for like self-care and like really cool designs.
Oh yeah, we have a lot of those
Oh,
blogs.
okay.
Like Zombiana, have you heard about her?
No.
She does like a lot of things that deal with like everyday things and mental health as well.
Okay. Cool.
And do you know some organizations that you can recommend to people
Yeah.
in Macedonia?
Yeah. So the first one I can recommend is Youth Can, which is like an organization that does educations on mental health with peers. I'm an educator there, so that's what like how I know it. And we do educations like all over the country with young people, usually like people that are still in high school. And this like education consists of like the first part is more like self-care, and then the second part is more like relationships with friends and regular relationships. So I think that's really cool. But also I want to recommend, and we have the link in our bio, it's by UNICEF Macedonia. It's a video on emotional gymnastics. It's a really cool, like it's made for kids. It's a cartoon, and it's a really good activity because when we were young, I had never heard of mental health. But it's like emotional gymnastics, so they like show exercises to relieve like stressful emotions. It's really cool, and it's made for kids, so it's like animated.
And I like the name.
Yeah. Also, like I have to mention the National Youth Council of Macedonia. They recently released 3 guidebooks. So one is on depression, the second one is on anxiety, and the third one is on panic attacks.
Do you think that there are some changes towards like better mental health hygiene and awareness in
Oh,
these
yeah.
last years?
Yeah, for sure. Like for example, I can say, like the generation in like my sister is, it's like very embarrassing to say you go to a therapist, and like in my generation, it's not at all. Like we are like sitting down, we were just like talking about our therapists, gossiping about them. But I think it changed. I mean, yeah, I'm happy it changed. What about in Serbia?
I feel like when I was in high school, it was a completely different story because people thought if you had like a shrink or a psychiatrist or whatever that you are crazy.
Yeah,
And
same.
I was from a small town as well, so that maybe had an effect. But I feel like people are talking about mental health more these last years. And I feel like it's really important to share and to talk about because you can help someone that is not aware they have like a problem. Maybe they feel like they're not just adjusted to the way things work, and then they realize that there is a name for that and that it's not just them. So I feel like that could be really helpful for younger people, and that can motivate them to find someone to talk to, or even if they don't want to find like a therapist, like a typical therapist, they could look up some of the things online, and they could find like a community of people who deal with same stuff, and they could give each other tips and tricks. So I think that it's really important to talk about.
Yeah, also, like I wasn't thinking about high school, but because I've surrounded myself with like people I like, I forget that other people exist. But yeah, it's the same thing. I went to a high school which it was never talked, and I went to like medical high school, and it's very weird that we didn't ever talk. Like we had psychology classes, but we never talked about mental health issues.
Yeah, we talked about like some more serious, if
Yeah,
I may
okay.
say it
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that, some more serious problems concerning mental health, but there are a lot of people in my community that I found out like in these last few years that have ADHD, and that's what I had. And that's what always like kind of struggled with, but I haven't known that there is such a thing like that that exists.
Yeah.
So it was like, I'm speaking from personal experience when I tell like it's a different thing to put a name to something and to kind of know how to deal with it. I mean,
Yeah. I mean, yeah, if you're informed about it, like, it goes like, in my opinion, it should be in the formal education, because you can't like deal with something if you don't even know what it is. Like, if you knew, like, maybe if you'd heard about it, you'd feel like you're more included.
yeah, and do you think that there should be like a change in the way that people approach mental health and
Oh
like
yeah, for sure. Especially the older generation.
yeah. But not everyone from older generations. I know a lot of people who are going to therapy or who are older. It
Yeah,
just depends
yeah,
on like society wise.
Yeah. Is mental health represented in media and films in Serbia?
Very rarely. I think we can all find like some diagnosis, or like if we analyze characters from our films and series, we can like find some representation of like mental health problems, but I don't think that was the point of the
question.
That was the point of the like TV shows.
Okay, yeah.
It wasn't talking about like mental health problems. It was talking about like, it was telling a story, and it represented character that may have or haven't got some mental illness. But I think the latest TV show, like we have Jutro će promeniti sve. It's like a lot of problems and a lot of stereotypes.
Can you like just translate the title?
Morning will change everything.
Yeah.
Which is like a kind of ironic name, because series talks about like how morning won't change everything, but there were some good representations about like mental health, and like that was the first time that anyone talked about like LGBT community in a positive light. I mean, we have some movies that talk about like the community, but this was the first time that we covered the subject from the point of view of like acceptance.
Yeah. Okay. In Macedonia, it's like kind of different, but I was going to say there is no representation, but while you were talking, I remembered there actually is. So there was this show, like I think it aired like 2 years ago. It was called like Therapy on Therapy, not Therapia, and it had like 2 seasons, I think, and they like had like every episode is like a different therapy session, but some of them are like more exaggerated, and that's like not the best thing. Like the first episode is like if you watch the first episode, you'll kind of won't want to watch the rest, but I recommend that you watch the whole series, because the first episode it's like the girl falls in love with the therapist, which is like cliche, but yeah. Also, like there was this show that was sponsored by USAID, I think, and it was called like The Family Markovsky, and like it's the first show that had coming out ever on Macedonian television, and the word mentioned like gay in like series, Macedonian series.
Oh,
okay. And like they didn't really like cover mental health intentionally, but the whole like coming out experience is very like something that isn't on any other TV show or film in Macedonia.
Oh, amazing! And how was the response?
Well, it was mixed. Like It depends, but I think after a while, after it like sunk in, and the second season talked about like gambling, so I think like people calmed down a little bit with the topic, and it was kind of forgotten. Like the hate was like forgotten, I guess. But in the beginning, there was a lot of like hate comments, as there is on everything.
Yeah, I remember when these series in Serbia came out. I think the response was generally a really good one.
Yeah, really, yeah.
Yeah, because a lot of people my age liked it. Like younger generations really felt like represented. And he talked about like generally like younger people in their 20s or 30s. So it was really well done in the way of representing the life in Belgrade, and what it wasn't romanticized version of like life in Belgrade. It was pretty realistic, and like all the problems and all the things that young people deal with were there. So I think the response was pretty great.
Great, yeah. I actually remember the first time I heard the word panic attack. It was on Teen Wolf, if you've watched that show. And like, I think in that show, it's not represented. The panic attack is like not really like a great representation, but I can recommend a show that has, in my opinion, the best like representation of what a panic attack looks like. It's the show, it's like a Disney show, Alexa and Katie. It's like it's not a kid show, but like, you know, like a Disney show.
I haven't watched that.
It's like more meant for like 11 to like 13, but like they have a scene where I think Katie has a panic attack, and it's like very well done. It's like amazing.
And also like mental health problems are not as
Generalized?
No, they're not same. The response is not the same in every person.
Oh yeah.
So like
yeah.
panic attacks may be like one thing for one person,
yeah,
and like
agree,
completely different experience for the other person. I think it has a lot of factors that
No, yeah, I agree completely.
so I think we should cover like the diversity of, and also like the degrees of some problems. I think that people should represent more like diversity of like problems concerning mental health.
Okay.
So if someone is not having like severe symptoms, that doesn't mean that they are not suffering and they should get help.
Yeah, I agree.
So that was the
Your
point that I was
yeah.
getting at.
Are there like any books or something on mental health in Serbia?
There are a lot of books about mental health, like popular
Yeah, but they're like Serbian. Or
Serbian. There is a great book, but it's not like mental health. The subject is not mental health, but it's dealing with like mental problems, and it's dealing with relationships. It's called Smrtni ishod atletskih povreda. And the author is a Serbian woman, and she kind of described the abuse victim and what their mental process is and what they go through whilst in a relationship with an abuser and after. So that's a really great book. But we have a lot of a lot of translations of popular psychology and stuff. And do you have like a Macedonian version?
Books? No. That was my point. Like there is no like mental health isn't as mentioned in media. Like I'm talking like popular media. Of course, like there are Instagram like pages, but like I've never seen any like post about mental health on like the newspapers or like the famous newscasters, are they? I don't know what they're called.
I think in Serbia, we have mentioned like on TV shows. I'm not sure about like journalism, maybe not in that specific way, but I think it's like represented, not as much, But I think there are conversations and like on TV shows
Mm-hmm.
and like for example, I don't know, not news, but morning shows. Like
Okay.
they talk about mental health and like subjects that are in at the moment.
Yeah, cool. I have a question for you. Where do you get your information about mental health?
Usually, I have a lot of friends who study psychology.
Okay.
I also have a therapist. And usually I find it on Instagram or Google it or find
Yeah.
some books that I'm interested in, or for example, how to create a better habits.
Okay,
And
cool.
then I start with like small things. And I really watch a lot of podcasts
Yeah.
and a lot of YouTube channels that are talking about mental health.
Can
I
you
think,
recommend one?
oh, well, I watched Oprah a lot
Okay.
in one period of my life, and I watched podcast. Let's talk about mental health.
Yeah, I watched that one too.
And it's pretty great. But also, I find just some like random podcasts or random topics that they talk about like specifically the subject that I'm interested in. For example, as I said, how to create better habits or how to like change the mentality or like because I'm a really pessimistic person by nature, and I'm trying to change that. And so, for example, I try to look for things that are more positive, but not like so positive that I don't believe it, because
Mm-hmm.
it's important that I really believe in something that I'm listening to. So stuff like that.
Cool.
And how about you?
For me, I actually wanted to say something like Googling. You usually like Google in English because if you Google in Macedonians, what is going to pop up is like forums, and the information on there is awful. Like almost everything is wrong. Like for solutions, they like recommend like different herbs to drink, and yeah, it's not helpful. But also like podcasts, talk like let's talk about mental health. Also, a really good one is Good Influence. It's by Gemma Stiles, which is Harry Styles' sister. Yeah.
She has a podcast.
Yeah, it's Good Influence. She has like British people mostly as guests, like Zoe Sag, and
Awesome. I didn't know that.
yeah, it's a really good podcast. You should listen to it after
And
this one.
sometimes I listen to like famous people or like actors and some kind of interviews that deal where they talk about that are more personal, where they talk about like their struggles and what they go through as an actor. And yeah, I feel like I need to listen to other people talk about stuff they're going through, so I don't feel alone in my own like problems. So that's why I think we should all talk about mental health, like,
yeah,
and be honest
actually-
a little more.
Yeah, so actually I just remembered like last week there was a video that was viral in Macedonia. It was like top trending. It's like the most famous YouTuber like quit YouTube, but he did like an hour video of him like explaining how the hate on social media affected his mental health. So it's like really good.
Yeah, in Serbia there was like this scandal in like last couple of months because there was this girl, this young YouTuber that killed herself
Oh yeah, I know, yeah.
because of the hate that she got from like cyberbullying and stuff. So that really started to initiated people to talk about mental health more on TV and in news, because it was like such a big deal and everyone was sorry, but in the end, like we can bring that girl back. So it's important to talk and stop that from repeating, like stop history
Yeah,
from
like-
repeating.
Yeah. Yeah, let's say like something more positive to like not go. What are your favorite self-care habits? Wait, let me repeat that. So, what are your favorite self-care habits?
Well, I have a lot. I have journaling.
Okay.
So I have to, not like on a daily basis because it doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
I really suck at like
Yeah,
making
me
habits.
too.
So that's what I look up usually. But when I have something that I want to say and I have like a lot of thoughts and I need to express it in order not to like explode, I have a diary and I start like writing something.
Yeah.
And it ends up like on a completely different note that I started writing. And somehow I encourage myself and try to be like my own best friend and rational person who's talking to this crazy person who's writing these things. So yeah, journaling definitely. And also therapy
Yeah. Okay.
for like small things, even like I have a problem that I want to like get a different job. How do I quit? How do I find another job? So therapy definitely. And also what I found that works best for me is just to take care of myself the best I can. For example, like buy myself clothes and like go to the gym and like invest money in myself. I mean, it sounds really stupid, but
No.
mentally it kind of helps me because I'm like, okay, I'm investing in myself and I'm like trying to explore new hobbies that I like to do and stuff. So, yeah. And also like drawing, like
yeah,
painting.
coloring.
Yeah. I like it a lot. It calms me down and just like
Oh, cool.
covers and a canvas and just do whatever.
Cool.
So those are mine, some habits. And also when the sun is shining and like the weather is
yeah.
nice, like walks. I walk everywhere. I don't use like public transport at all. I walk everywhere in Belgrade.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
It may take a little more time, but it's like possible. It's manageable.
Cool.
And what do you do?
So I can add on the journaling. I don't like journaling. Like I like it, but I can't do it every day or like even like I don't have a habit of doing it. But I agree that sometimes it helps. Like if you have a lot of bottled up emotions and you can like just write, and because it's different from like if you're just like thinking it over in your head, you can like have multiple thoughts at the same time. But if you're like writing it, you can only write like one thing, and once you write it, it becomes real and you can like process it better. But also I would like to make a recommendation for you. You said that you write when you're like having a bad
Not
experience
necessarily bad, but like when I have a lot of things that
Yeah,
I
a lot
want
of
to express.
emotions.
Yeah.
You can like have a separate journal that you write when you're like really happy, because if you like only write about the things that are like sad or depressing, you like kind of feel them as more realistic than the happy ones.
No, I don't like do specifically like bad things.
Okay.
I just like when I have a lot of emotions, I just
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
express it. So even if I had like a good day and a super amazing like thing happened to me, I write about it. But if it has like left an impact on me, I write about things that have left impact. I don't write about like, oh, I had a fight with my roommate or oh,
Okay. Yeah.
like some small things. But like if something really has an impact and I think about it day after day after day, I kind of write about it.
Yeah. So you don't go to your journal and write like my pen broke today.
Yeah, and I never read it.
Oh,
which
you
is
never read it. Oh, yeah. Okay.
never. And
So
also
you can
I
burn them.
I think okay. I think at some point maybe I will read something that I wrote, but I haven't read it so far, and it feels like a completely different life when I read it.
Oh, yeah.
I've read some of my old journals from like the second year of my studies, and it was like, wow, who is this person?
Cool.
And I feel like my style has gotten a lot better.
Yeah. Yeah, but you can see like how you improved yourself.
Yeah, in all the ways. And I think it's important to like talk to your friends
Yeah.
That's one of the self-care habits that we haven't mentioned. And a lot of people do this. And your friends are the ones who know you like the best. I mean, like your close friends. And it really means a lot when my friends tell me, oh, you have changed, or you are completely like different, or you are working on yourself. So things like that. I think it's important to like tell people that. And I usually tell people that when I notice that someone has changed, like a positive way. I tell them, yeah, good job, buddy.
Yeah.
Continue doing this.
Yeah. Okay, so like other self-care habits. I think like one of the most frequent ones I do, it's because I have a dog. I take it out on a walk like every day, and like that's normal, but it really helps me if I like don't bring my phone, which yeah, I know I know like when people say like, oh, you put down your phone, we've heard it all, and it's annoying. Like when another person will tell me like put down your phone, I find it annoying, and I know it's annoying that I'm saying it a lot, but it really helps to like distance yourself, especially like I think our generation is like I'm not saying there's not positive things about like phones, of course there is, but it's like important to know when to distance yourself. Also another like habit we haven't talked about is meditation. We were talking about this yesterday. There are like some really cool apps that you can use. Like my favorite one is called Lojong. It's like Logong. And it's like they have like programs, so it's like a 21-day program, and like you can start as like a beginner. It's like the first one is 3 minutes, and then you like slowly build up your meditation habit.
I have one app too. It's called Balance.
Yeah.
And it's a really great app for like meditation, and it really guides you through all of the process. But also, I think the way you're doing, like if you were just taking a walk, it's not like meditation per se, but you can like meditate doing some, or like when you go swimming. I think it's like for me that was the good part for like meditation.
Not for me now.
Really?
No. How do you meditate when swimming? Don't you like find it scary? You might like sink.
I'm just no, but like when you're swimming, you're okay. I'm not like meditating.
You're not focusing on like other stuff.
Yeah, but I'm just like with my thoughts, and
Okay, yeah.
I just like it's a meditation of its own. I think.
Yeah, in your opinion.
Yeah. So, and also when you're doing like running, but for a really long time, not like when you're swimming.
I don't find running meditational.
Well, I find it like you are not focusing on your thoughts. I mean, you're
okay.
maybe focusing on, oh, I want to finish this so fast, like as fast as I can.
Yeah,
I'm so
okay, cool.
tired. But you're not like, you're not having invasive thoughts about like a lot of things. Your mind is a little more, I would say, relaxed, but I don't know if that's the right word, but like not as...
It's like on do not disturb button.
Yeah. And that's what I feel like when swimming. Like it's just water and me, and like when you like dive, it's like not even the sound. So you can like think about a lot of things and not think about anything. So and you can just focus on like your movements and water and what's around you. So I think it could be like not meditation in the original sense, but like in metaphorical one.
Cool. Do you have any other questions for me?
Not that I can think of right now. Okay.
We want to invite everybody who's listening to this right now to tweet at us their self-care habits using the hashtag Selflovogy. So yeah, the name of the
And you can even suggest some things and topics that we can talk about in our next podcast, and you can share your experience. We can like read some of your experience if you allow us to. And
you can send it anonymous.
Yeah, you can send it anonymously, and we can talk about it, discuss it, and like research it.
Yeah. Also, like if you have any questions you'd like us to discuss,
feel free to ask and to reach out to us. We will be waiting for you guys.
Yeah. Okay. So thank you so much for listening to our first episode. I hope you really enjoyed it, and we hope to see you again soon. Did you enjoy yourself during the podcast?
I enjoyed myself very much. I
Well, yeah.
enjoyed talking to you.
Yeah, me too. Okay.
Yeah. Goodbye and see you next time.
Bye.